Greetings dear watchers, I'm gonna be introducing bunch of let's plays on this channel, starting with ARK Survival Ascended. So I'm an old ARK player, and I have been out here playing ARK and making content about it for years, but I have never actually played all the maps from start to finish. So today I'm starting a let's play of all ARK maps on ARK Survival Ascended. But before we jump into the game, let me tell you about my settings and mods. I'll have 5 rules and bunch of mods. First rule, it's gonna be semi-hardcore, and that means on ARK hardcore, if you die, your character and your tribe gets deleted, but your word stays. So you can start a new character and you'll see all of your dinos and all of your structures will belong to your previous tribe. You will have no access to them. Also, your character will reset to level 1. I mean, you're gonna be starting a new character. Without hardcore, you can just respawn endlessly, and I think that kinda breaks the immersion of a survival mindset. I know the lore reason behind this, but I just don't like it. And the hardcore, the real hardcore, is just too difficult, so I'm gonna be playing a semi-hardcore challenge, which if I die, I'm gonna have to leave my tribe and start a new one, but I will keep my character. Second rule is the no resource spawn rule. When you cut down a tree, when you mine a metal, when you collect the silica pearl, it's not gonna respawn in few hours. So you're gonna have to explore other parts of the map. And I think that's gonna be really beautiful, especially on single player. I'm gonna be able to explore the map in an immersive way, and I'm gonna have a real incentive to explore the map for resources. Third rule, I'm not gonna gain levels by collecting XP nodes. I have made that 0, so they're not gonna give any experience. So my early game will be really challenging. So on these let's plays, I am only allowed to tame creatures that I have unlocked the levels and acquired that tame. I'm gonna have to tame creatures that I unlock their saddles, and I'm not gonna be able to skip a creature and go tame something more useful. So first thing I'm gonna have to tame will be a Phiomia, not Pteranodon. Now let me tell you about the mods and server settings. I have 10 mods that doesn't really change the gameplay too much, but it makes some parts of the game more difficult and some parts of the game easier. First mod is the custom dino levels. So this mod lets you change the spawn levels of wild creatures. This is one of the mods that I always use, but I was using it to make my wild dino spawns to cap. But with these let's plays, I decided to change that. So when I was playing with these mods, every single creature on the wild was spawning at max level, but like everything was 150, and that's how I like to play. But I decided to change that because most ARK players like to search of a max level dino and they get too excited, and I didn't wanna rob my let's plays from that feeling. But I despise seeing level 5 and 10 creatures that are really powerful. Like seeing a level 5 Rex is really annoying for me. So I changed the INI settings of this mod to make my wild dino spawns to be between level 100 and level 150. So the lowest dino levels will be 100. Of course, the tech dinos will be 180 and drakes and wyverns will be level 190. My early game still will be difficult when I was surrounded with level 100, at least level 100 raptors, dilos and all that stuff. But also I would need to go out and try to find a max level creature. A lot of people think that when you max out your wild creature spawns, you'll get super overpowered creatures easily, but that is not the case, because even though if you tame like 20 max level Rexes or Terries, there is something called stat allocations, and that is just not too great. You're just saving time with this setting and with this mod, because you could easily get 30 and 35 points on a 150 level tame, and it still takes a lot of time. You won't get just super overpowered creatures with couple of tames. You would still need to tame dozens of creatures. But still, most people don't see it like that, and that's why I decided to change it. Let's see the second mod. Gnome's early tech binoculars. I don't like to use old other super spyglass mods because they just look like the regular spyglass, but they're just overpowered. And the tech binoculars is really good, but it requires you to kill the alpha overseer. That is just too much of an achievement. So I just added this mod. The only reason I need this mod because breeding, I can't really breed without seeing the mod, and I don't want to use a third-party application, which is that what you need to do on official. I think you need to export your dino and just use an app to see it. But with this mod, I'm just gonna be able to see all the stats of my creatures. So I think it's not that OP, so I added it. There, Dino Finder is the third mod. I think this is a little bit OP, but it's just gonna save me a lot of time, and I don't want to make an episode, a let's play episode, me just searching the entire time for a single dino. So I just added this mod. I'm just gonna save some time, and I am thinking like this will make my episodes a little bit more enjoyable. This is a nice looking mod that I never used before. I seen it, but I never played with it. So I'm adding this visual storage mod. It's a little bit OP if you are storing resources that spoil, but it's a single player let's play challenge, so I don't think it's gonna be game breaking. It is just a visually appealing structures, and I think they're gonna be really beautiful. So you can just store your wood, your stones, and all those other resources, and they look really nice and they are really immersive. So I decided to add this mod, and I think they're gonna make my base look beautiful. And solo farm mod, I'm not sure how much I'm gonna need this mod with the recent changes, but I added anyway. If you are solo, you're gonna have this mod, so I added it. And silent structures is another mod. It's not adding any structures, it's just adding an option to lower the sound of certain structures. They're just too loud, and I don't wanna spend too much time changing the volume of my voice because of these structures are being too loud. So it's a mod that you gotta have it if you are recording, I think. So I just added this silent structures mod. And this mod is pretty nice. Doesn't have a lot of installs, but it is adding auto collectors that have really nice visuals. You'll see these in the game. Doesn't unfortunately have pictures, but it's adding quite a lot of structures that collects everything, and compared to other mods, it has pretty nice visuals. Like the egg collector has the oviraptor, snail collector has the snail, and so on like this. It's a little bit OP, but it's just making all these tedious and time consuming work bearable. So I added this to my new let's plays. I always use some sort of collector mod, but I wasn't really fond of how they looked. With the other mods, they kinda looked like a text structure, which I don't really like unless it's related to tech. So I changed the other egg collector mod to Black Wolf's aura collectors. Improved Egg Incubator. So I'm only adding this mod because I like the feature to destroy all eggs. There are many features and most of them are really powerful, but I'm not gonna use those. I'm just gonna use that extra feature. I have disabled all other features like this bonus hatch speed, bonus hatch rates, all these like XP from eggs. All this stuff I'm gonna disable, and only thing I'm gonna use is there's like a feature in the inventory that you can use to destroy all the eggs that you don't want. You don't have to click every single one of them and choose to destroy. That is what you need to do with the vanilla egg incubator. Day indicator is a nice mod. As you can see, it shows day 4, day 5, day 3, whatever, and where you are. Like the southern is canyons, and it shows the map. It happens, I guess, on a new day or when you just respawn. So it's a lightweight mod that adds a bit of text and increases the visual quality of the video, I guess. So I added. And the final mod is an Engram unlocker mod. I was using another version on ASC, but for some reason I changed this on ARK Survival Ascended. It works perfectly, so I kept it in my game. Alright, now let's see the server settings. I boosted mating because it's a single player let's play, so it's gonna take very long time to breed compared to servers. So mating interval, egg leg interval, egg hatch speed, baby mature speed, baby cuddle interval, all of these are boosted and it's gonna be like decent to breed any dinos. I'm hoping it won't feel like super boosted, but if I don't boost my rates and if I try to breed with the full rates, it will take me like 15 episodes to actually raise anything. So that would make breeding pretty much disabled. So that's why I have boosted breeding rates. And wild dinos, all default, nothing changed. Tame dinos, also all default, nothing changed. And I guess some people get confused by this. So it doesn't all one. Like the stats is 0.2. This is like 0.14. This is just how ARK default settings are. You can't just make them one, and if you do that your dinos will be super overpowered. So that is why you're just gonna leave this as it is. And player, nothing is boosted, and XP multipliers, everything is on one except explorer nodes. I decided to disable them. You can't really disable them, so I just made the rate of the XP they give 0.01. Maybe if I can just add another 0, will that work? I don't know. Let's just save it. If you put it to 0, it just resets back to 1. So maybe I just messed that up. I'll see that in a second. And the Misalangelos, I don't know how to actually pronounce that properly. So what I have is allow custom recipes is on. Other than that, it should be everything on default. Like I even turned this on. Force gacha unhappy in caves. It's not like I'm gonna build in a cave in single player, but just made it so that it is on par with official settings. So I guess that's about it for my settings and mods. So let's play.